This video, I thought I'd take a quick moment to review what we've built here. So we've built a very simple application. You can see that we've got two different HTML documents that are being rendered by Timeleaf, and that is all working with the Spring Framework. So the Spring Framework is taking the controllers. Controllers are mapping paths to those documents, so when a request comes in, and it goes through all the way to the database, gets data, and that is returned. Now, what we are not doing, we're not writing any SQL. We haven't created any database tables. That was all done for us. So what's happening underneath the covers with everything is when we bring in these dependencies for Spring Boot Starter Data JPA, and also the H2 in-memory database, Spring Boot is going through doing that auto configuration, setting up the data source for us to a default URL, which changes. We saw that when we access the database console. The tables are getting created by Hibernate. So Spring Boot configures Hibernate to automatically create the database based on what we've configured in our domain. So Hibernate is performing reflection upon the entities that we've defined to form the database. So Spring Boot does all that auto configuration for us. We've initialized the database using a method here that implements command line runner. So when we start our application up, that data is loaded into the database that was created for us by Hibernate. So we are using an H2 in-memory database. This would also work against another data source like MySQL. And then there's a number of things that we have not looked at as far as like taking user data, validating user data. These are all things that we are going to get to see further on into the course. I'm going to stop development of this project now. We'll be moving on to other topics in the course, but I want to take a moment to reflect upon what we've done here. You can see how easy, once you get accustomed to working with Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA and JPA in general, how quickly you can create a web application. It's just as easy to provide forms within using Timeleaf to take that data, to validate it, and quickly create a web-based application, as well as doing RESTful-style APIs. And all of this we will be covering in the course. The purpose of this entire section was just to get you introduced to developing applications with Spring Boot, and so you can see just how easy it is to go through and develop web applications. So obviously a lot of questions here as far as things that we have covered, and we will be covering those in upcoming lessons in the course.